everybody. Wait, that's kind of how I start every single segment. Hi everybody. I should probably change it. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra Aneno and I am so happy to have you with me once again. I feel like I need to start the video by accounting. I think last week, but for the first time since we began this project, we did not post, and that was simply because good things were happening. So anyway, I got married customarily, and I'm excited. I'm getting married again, church-wise, in January, and it's been a really beautiful season. So yeah, that's where I was at. Now that I've accounted, I'm so happy to be back with you. If you have not yet hit subscribe, before we go any further, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, so that you don't miss out on any of the lovely content that I share on this channel. Now this week I felt like I wanted to slow it down because we've been doing series after series, and I feel like they've been chronologically put together. Like, I love how they have played out, right from doing our series on a purpose-driven life, and then up to whether we are living in a fatherless generation, and then closing it out with raising children the single way. So I'm so excited that we've been able to cover those series together. I have personally learned a lot. I've been impacted, and I hope that you have as well. In fact, I do know that some have been impacted, because they've been able to reach out to me and tell me, Sandra, I'm so happy that you put out this particular episode for reasons A, B, C, and D. And so I'm so humbled and excited to be with you on this journey. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back from that break. Like I was telling you, I wanted to slow it down this week and take it back a bit to where it began for me, which was in my journey to motherhood. I've shared a bit about that, and then I've also covered other people's stories and experiences with children. So this week I wanted to play it back a bit and talk about my journey and where I am right now. So I want to talk about 5 things that I absolutely love and appreciate about my relationship with Maria. Maria, for those of you who do not know her, is my 3-year-old daughter, the very best part of me. So reason number 1, Maria grounds me, in a sense that my relationship with her, for me, has a starting point back to when I got pregnant and the circumstances that surrounded my getting pregnant then. If you're not filled in on my story, you might want to go back to the very beginning of when I started posting these videos and catch up. But to fill you in just very quickly, I got pregnant at a time when I don't think I was ready to be a mother. It's been the best journey that I've started by far, but I don't think when I got pregnant I was ready to be a mother. But I'm so excited and so humbled that I was surrounded by people who made the decision to have her a lot easier than if I had been in it alone. So yeah, Maria grounds me in a sense that I'm always taken back to my first experience and the things that I went through and the lessons that I learned, like right now in life, even now. When I'm relating with her, and let me say I'm frustrated, or I catch myself getting impatient, or I catch myself not really being the best version of myself that I can be with her, I'm always taken back to that moment where I feel like I'm zoned in, and I have to remember how this journey began, what I went through during this journey, what I learned, and I have to keep reapplying that every single day in my relationship with her. It's kind of like a fountain that I have to keep pouring from. I have to keep thriving from, like, to be better. So yeah, she grounds me. And a lot of the things that I went through with her then, or that I went through as a result of the journey to motherhood, I feel like I reapply them on a daily, even now. So reason number 1 is that Maria grounds me so much. Reason number 2, or rather the second thing that I love about my relationship with Maria and I appreciate, is that we teach each other and we learn from one another. Someone would say, oh, Maria is only 3 years. Psh, what does she have to teach you? You'd be shocked. Some of the biggest things that I have learned, or some of the biggest discoveries about myself that I have made, are as a result of relating with my daughter on a daily, and relating with her in conjunction with the other people that are involved in her life. So the best example that I can give is right now we stay in Buwate, but we shifted from Chira, which is where this little story I'm about to tell you happened. So we're home, it's like late in the evening, and I had a packet of chocolate. Now anybody who knows me knows when chocolate is involved, I don't know, there's like a mini selfish Sandra that is involved. So anyway, I had already given Maria like lots of pieces of chocolate, but she kept asking for more, and I could afford to give more. Like I had quite a number of chocolates, so I could afford to give more. But in my head I was like, I've already given you, like why do I have to keep giving you? And besides, like, your teeth. So Maria insists, Mama, I want some chocolate. And I think I lost it, and I told her, but I've already given you. So when I told her, but I've already given you, I could see this look of hurt on her face, with this thing of, Mama just didn't tell me that, but I had. So she starts to cry, she starts to have a meltdown, and I felt led to probe like why my response had hurt her enough for her to shed tears. So when I pushed and I pushed, you'll be shocked, Maria looked at me with tears falling down her eyes and told me, Mama, you are selfish. And like, there's truth to it. You get, like, I was selfish because I had lots more from which I could pick and give her. You get, ration it out, but I could afford to give, but I felt like I had given enough. I didn't have to keep giving more. And to her, in her world, Mama was being selfish, and Mama wasn't seeing it. So when we break down the conversation with her, I ask her what made Mama selfish. And she's like, Mama has chocolate, but Mama doesn't want to share with me because she sees it, it's right there. Why won't Mama give it to me? So when she called me selfish, I'm glad that by the time we finished the conversation, I had apologized and I had reassured her that sharing is actually, very good, and Mama should have shared with you, and I apologized. But see how my 3-year-old got me to realize that I had acted in a selfish way. So even right now with Maria, at home currently, like 2020, right now in December, November, I feel like we're going through a phase with her where she's being very independent, and as a result is being very opinionated and is being very rebellious, which is not a bad thing because she's an individual. I want her to be able to express herself. I want her, but in a respectful way, yeah? So being the parent and being joyful, her auntie, and the people that are helping to raise her, there are certain rules and standards that we want her to live by. So lately we've been trying to get her to seek for permission before doing certain things, and it's a rule that we've been trying to get her to understand. But because she's in that phase of, I know it all, like, I can do what I want, you get. So we are trying to get her into that zone where rules are set for a reason, and we are setting the rules with you, and we are setting the consequences that come from breaking those rules with you. So it's been happening for about a week, actually 2. We've been having like a difficult time, but we had a breakthrough about 2 days ago where she actually came and finally asked for permission. She's like, Mama, may I, before I do this? So together we are learning from each other and teaching each other as well, in the hope that we form our own kind of our own balance of what our relationship should be like. Because like I told you, for every parent, or even let's just say basic relationships, romantic or platonic, they're all very different, and they're all governed by whatever rules the parties involved decide. So for me and Maria, the second thing that I really appreciate about my relationship with her is that we are on a daily Like we paused to have lunch before we continued shooting this episode together with Joyful, and just like in that 30-minute break, we were like, it's like a session every day of we need to do this, you need to do that. Like, you have to keep relearning patience, you have to keep relearning compassion, empathy. Sometimes you forget, and like the light bulb goes off. So it's like a continual journey of learning from each other, teaching from each other. The people that are involved in raising her, her dad, Daddy Barrow, Joyful, Auntie Joanne, Auntie Stella, all the people that are involved. It's like a continual process of learning and teaching each other. I wrote down that Maria for me is the window through which I take a deeper look at myself. And I think even for Joyful, it must be like the same, because we are like the people who have constantly been around her since she was born. And I think she has changed both of us as individuals and how we relate with each other, because she's constantly doing things or pushing you to relate in a way that you have to keep reflecting inward. You have to keep asking yourself, why am I relating like this? Why am I getting easily offended with her, first of all? And then it pushes you to ask yourself those questions in relation with other people. So she's bettering my relationship with her, but also bettering the way that I relate with other people. So the third thing, very quickly, that I love about my relationship with Maria is that she is growing back the fighter in me. And for those who have walked a close journey with me, I think can testify. Joyful, don't you think so? Joyful has done. That means it's true. I feel like I want to believe I'm capable of a lot of things. I want to believe and speak over myself that I have the potential to be a lot of things, that I believe God is finally bringing to accomplishment. But for like the longest time, I feel like I wasn't pushing myself the way that I needed to, or I wasn't giving it my all. And even now I can definitely do better. But my point is, the basis for my relationship with Maria is that once I decided that we are doing this, she instantly woke me up. She instantly woke me up in the sense that I had now so much growing up to do, because I got pregnant at a time when my mother had just passed away. Like the two pillars that had been in my life for the biggest percentage, my cousin Macrina and best friend, and then also my mother. My mother had just passed away and Macrina had relocated. So there I was, left hanging. And then this happened. So I was in a zone where like I was grappling to grow up. So having her instantly woke me up, and ever since, she's 3 years now, but every single level with her has required a certain level of growth within myself. Her physical growth requires me to like also grow as well in terms of where are we at health, are we eating right. Her emotional health also gets me to have to up my game. Am I parenting right? Am I parenting with love, with care, with discipline? Her spiritual journey, also the level she's at with God, questions me also to ask myself, could I be doing more? I should be doing more. What can I do here? What can I do there? So I feel like with her, different versions of me have to keep coming out to match the level that she's at. So she has put me in a place where I'm continually wanting to like box at life, to do better, to like make sure that she has a quality of life that I can be proud of, and the people that in her life can also be proud of. So Maria has definitely put me in a place where I don't want to just get by anymore. I want to make a difference. I want to fight. Like, I don't want to take life sitting down anymore. I don't want to take life sitting on my hands. Like, I want to be in the ring. I want to box. I want to dance in the rain. So Maria every single day renews that desire to keep fighting, like to keep saying tomorrow will be better. Today has gone like this, but let's try again tomorrow. Let's try again tomorrow. So she keeps growing the fighter in me, and I'm excited to see where I'll be at when she's like 10. Like, what level of growth will I be on? So yeah, she also does that for me. The fourth and second last thing that I love and appreciate about my journey with Maria, or my relationship with her, is she gives me an appreciation for life. I know we hear these things all the time, like we say them to ourselves, and somehow they never really make sense until it's close to your heart, until it touches someone that concerns you, and then suddenly it's a reality. Like, you never know what you have till it's gone. We hear those things in songs, books, but until it happens to you, you do not have an appreciation for it. So when I had Maria, suddenly life was just not about me. Like, there was someone else who was dependent on me. There was someone else who was looking up to me, like on a blood on blood level. Like my daughter, I want to be able to see her grow. I want to be able to still be around when she's 17. I want to be able to, at 15, have those conversations with her. Oh, mom, you don't understand me. Yeah. And then I want to be like that drama. I want to live through all of it with her. Like, I want to have that journey with her, and that must come from me appreciating life. So what does this look like for me or for you? I don't know. I hope you're relating in one way or another, yeah? That means that I, together with all the other integral people who are involved in her life, have to make sure that she grows up having a decent life, that she's a productive member of society, and that begins with us. That means that we have to appreciate who we are in her life, and once we do that, then we understand the burden that is upon us. Why? Because she's in a position where she looks up at us. I imagine, Joyful, don't you have that pressure? Like, knowing the kind of position that you hold in Maria's life, or like how she looks at you with admiration. There's that easy pressure of, like, you have to make, I don't know, like better decisions. You have to eat better so you can live longer, to be there for her. So for me, my relationship with Maria on a daily gives me a better appreciation for life. Like that thing of, I thank God that I am alive, or I thank God that I am able to have another year with her. Like, it humbles me in the sense that nothing is guaranteed, but the fact that I have it, then I need to appreciate it. And once I appreciate that with her, everything with Maria for me trickles over into the relationships that I have with other people. So once I appreciate that, that is like the starting point for me. She's like that car fountain, that car I keep drinking from my relationship with her. So when I appreciate this, then it spills over into appreciating my relationships with my neighbors, with the people that I meet on the street. Like, I have a deeper desire to want to connect, appreciate life. So as I come to the end of this video, the last and fifth thing that I absolutely love about Maria, and for me this tops it all. Are you ready? Maria is what I personally call my face to face with God. Let that first sink in for you. Maria is 3 years old now. I remember the day that I confirmed that I was pregnant. Meanwhile, okay, I don't know. Let me give like a short backstory. Yeah, before we went with Maria's dad to the hospital to confirm if we were actually pregnant, I did 3 home tests that I was hoping with all my heart would come back negative, because I wasn't ready. I hadn't envisioned myself being a mother at that point. So I do these home tests, and lo and behold, all 3 of them stared back at me as positive. Like, hey, you're real pregnant. So when I go and I find out, I remember that was 2017, January 30th, 2017. That's the day that now I real confirmed I'm pregnant, and then I felt like I was in jail. Because those of you who know my story, I felt like, am I really going to show up at all these places pregnant? How am I going to tell Joyful that I ate donuts and lo, I am pregnant and I am not married, and I was in church, I was in ministry, I was there. Like, now of course I look back and it is well, but then in that moment, So for me, once it's settled in my mind that this was actually happening. I had spoken to my closest friends, and they were in support. As hard as it was, as confusing as it was, I feel like I saw God for like the first time in the realness that it's supposed to be. So for me, Maria is she's like the foundation of when my real with God started. This is how I would explain it. I feel like it's crazy. Actually, not I feel. It is crazy that we can hide things from God. I don't know if someone who is watching this can relate. Like, God is omniscient, He's omnipresent, like He's all-knowing, He's all-seeing, but we still, in our walk with Him, hide. Like, we'll have things in our life that we are hiding from Him, and yet He can see all. Yeah? And then there's like a duplication of what the actual relationship with God is supposed to be like, and that's kind of like along the lines that we walk. But now for me, when I found out that this is happening, and it's happening the way that it's happening, there was then there was like condemnation, there was fear, there was a lot of like mixed emotions, but God showed up for me and told me, I love you. And once that settled within my heart, there's like this courage within me that sprang up, and I was like, I'm done pretending. Like I'm glad that this happened, because before that I was living a double life, and up to now there's things that we hide from people because they can't see or they can't read our thoughts, but God sees all of that. So for me, Maria was like the start of me not running anymore, was the start of me not hiding anymore, me not pretending with God of all people. At the point that I had Maria, that was like the cross season for me. That was the season where I had to carry a lot of things. I had to carry my cross and walk. I had to carry my cross and get to where I was supposed to be as best as I could. So Maria represents for me what my relationship with God is supposed to be like, and that's kind of how I try to relate with her. God is so patient with us. God is so honoring of us. God is so respectful of us. God is so intimate and personal with us. And I don't have it all figured out, but that's the perspective from which I try to relate with Maria. And like I told you, once that happens with me and her, then it kind of trickles down to the other people in my life. So in depth, she sparked off an in-depth relationship with God that I don't think I ever could have reached had it not been for that season. So Maria, in conclusion, is like my face-to-face with God. So you might be asking yourself, she's talking about motherhood, she's talking about her relationship with her daughter. How is it that I can relate with what Sandra is saying? How is it that I can apply what Sandra is saying? I would ask you to do this. I would ask you not to look at it as a relationship with a mother and a daughter. I would ask you to look at it as every single relationship that you have. Your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your spouses or your partners, your relationship with your children. I believe that those relationships should be able to spring up certain desirous things within you, things like relationships that ground you, relationships that trigger you to pray, relationships that teach you, relationships from which you can learn, like I am with my relationship with my daughter, and inevitably my relationship with the people that are around me, or like with Joyful. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you have loved hearing from my heart, and I hope that you can pick up these 5 pointers that I have shared with you and apply them with your life at whatever capacity you're in, as a single woman, as a single man, as a single father, a single mother, a parent. Just you're just there, you get relating in life. Have relationships that will ground you, have relationships that will teach you, relationships that you can learn from to better yourself, relationships that make you want to fight, that make you want to be better, that make you want to challenge yourself, and lastly, relationships that reflect who God is. And that is a God that is loving, that is a God that is caring, that is a God that is forgiving, and that is a God that guides and directs and teaches. Welcome to this segment of the question of the day. I keep telling you guys I love doing this, and it had been a while since I had done it, but here goes. Our question of the day is, what are your pointers of a good relationship? Like, when you reflect within yourself, what would you say are maybe one or two things that should be in that relationship that indicate to you that this is a good relationship? Does it teach you patience? Does it challenge you? Go ahead, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. As we wrap out this video, I wanted to very quickly remind you that if you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, hit the subscribe button over there. It should be somewhere on the screen. Hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, so that every single time I put a video up, you are the first to know, and you and I can catch up. Otherwise, thank you so much for being a part of this week. Thank you so much for your comments and your feedbacks. I have loved doing these videos this year, and guys, there's so much in store for 2021. All I can pray is that God gives us the life and the grace. Otherwise, yeah, there's lots in store, and I cannot wait for you to be a part. Thank you, and God bless.